Good afternoon from Florida in the United States. My name is Maria Jose Fernandez, and this is actually the place where I live and work now. It's a very interesting experience to share with different educational systems, so here we are. I got a pleasure to introduce my other partners for this presentation, who are Francisco Javier Blanco and Maria Jose Latorre. But first of all, I'd like to give thanks to this organization for this huge opportunity to be here among so many experts and people so interested in education. For me, it's a pleasure and a good opportunity. So thank you for this opportunity to the organization. I belong to a group of teachers who are very involved in the academic results in our city in Ceuta. This group of researchers belong to the University of Granada, but we really know the reality of our city. And it got related to the OCDE results and Spanish comparison with other testing and diagnosis, very bad results. This is a dramatic situation, and we want to focus on this. The name of our presentation today is Innovation Against School and Social Failure, the Professional Profile of Teachers in Ceuta, Spain. Here we've got the outline of the presentation and the different steps we are going through along this time of speaking. We will focus on background, objectives, methodology, results, and some conclusions, which is the most important part with any presentation and any work, obviously. But first of all, for me, it's very important to focus on the background, because it is important that you have a global vision of the situation. So I'd like to show you which is the city we are talking about. This is Ceuta, and Ceuta is a small city located in the north of Africa. Because of these geographical characteristics, Ceuta's got a very different idiosyncrasy. However, the most important point, which is the starting point of this presentation, of this study, is that Ceuta is the city with the lowest rates of academic results and the highest rates of school dropout in Spain, again according to different testing and diagnosis proofs like OCDE. And obviously, as teachers and also as researchers, we launched the alarm to the dramatic consequences that at the level social, economical, and cultural this situation can lead in our city. There have been many factors who have tried to be understandable for the situation. There also have been in our city many researchers trying to give a global comprehension of the problem. Some of these studies focus on linguistic problems, many others focus even on cultural problems. But our study is quite different. Ours focuses on the teaching practice every day in their classrooms. So from this point of view, we think that our study is very brave, because assessment among teachers is not very easy. We know that we are so used to evaluate the student, but sometimes it takes it's very difficult for us to evaluate ourselves. So from this point of view, this study we consider which is brave. And we try to focus on the teaching practice and trying to understand if there is a relationship between these bad results and the practice we are applying in our classrooms. So we believe that there is the lack of application of innovative which leads to this situation. And we are trying to find out if we really are using attractive model for students. So we've got two clear objectives. The first one, we want to find out the professional profile of teachers in Ceuta. Again, we focus on them, so which type of teacher we are and what exactly are doing in our classrooms. And on the other hand, we are trying to discover if the teachers in this city, in Ceuta, show an innovative profile, and if they do, which are the common variables that the innovative professionals share. Okay, in the second step, I'm talking about methodology. We have to say that our study, it's a descriptive study with a quantitative approach. We have a number of 357 teachers, which is about 30% of the total population of teaching staff in our city. We give them a questionnaire of 70 items, and in the questionnaire we apply some questions related to inspection, teaching learning process, based learning based in projects, leadership, organization of schools, and many other questions that we consider are very interesting in order to get and to try to find out the profile of the teachers in our city. Okay, once we get the results, we applied 3 different kinds of analysis. So we feel very proud of this because we consider that with these 3 analyses we can get very real conclusions. The first is a descriptive analysis, then we got a contingency analysis, and the last one we made a cluster analysis. Okay, from the descriptive analysis we get the same results. The first we have to say is there is an important difference between primary stage and secondary stage. And this is important because in secondary stage we've got even worse results than in primary stage. So the idea that we get a very different frame for primary and secondary, it is important. So for primary stage, teachers who work in this stage, they believe in project-based learning, they trust on innovation, they feel themselves as innovative people, they believe in cooperative learning, and they follow practices for an inclusive education. As we can see, all these items they believe in are important in order to show an innovative profile as teachers. On the other hand, on the secondary stage, they trust that tests as the best assessment tool. They do not feel comfortable with innovative projects, and they think that innovation is an education trend, an education fashion. So as we can see, there is a very important difference between teachers in primary stage and teachers in secondary stage according to have a profile innovative or not. Okay. With the contingency analysis, we get also a very important result, which make a general idea of the profile of teacher in Ceuta. We consider some variables which are important for us, and they were age, gender, years of experience, laboral situation, having or not having taken position in a management school, and also teacher development. According to these 7 variables, we can draw the profile in primary for teachers. So we can say that women are more determined towards innovation. The age in which a profile is really innovative is 40 years, above 40 years, there is a pessimism facing innovation. 10 years experience or less. It doesn't matter if that teacher belongs to the staff or is a temporary teacher. It's not important, it's not relevant in this case. It is important also that these teachers who they think they are innovative has had experience in management position, but also it is tendency that they have a greater pessimism about teacher staff. So it's an important point to take into account. Or experience in any coordinating position. And the most relevant for them is the teacher development. Now, having a look at the same variables, but in this case in secondary stage, we can say that again, women in this case are more determined towards innovation. The age is a little bit below 40 years, between 5 and 9 years experience. And it's curious here because in this case, temporary teacher seems to be more innovative than a staff teacher. This is a great difference between the primary stage and the secondary stage. It is important also here to have experience in management positions, still again greater pessimism about teacher staff, and it is important to have experience in coordinating position, and once more, and sharing with the primary stage, teacher development is the most important variable. We feel pretty proud about this analysis. This is the last one. We wanted to be more precise. And in order to be more precise, just in case we could find the innovative profile in Ceuta, we wanted to know where it was that profile, in which state. So that's the reason why we applied a cluster analysis. And we found two conglomerates, very similar in the number, but absolutely different between them. So we can find conglomerate number 1, those who are not innovative, and conglomerate number 2, those who are innovative teachers. And then we can see that according to the stages, the innovative teachers belong to the primary stage. So I repeat the idea, we've got very dramatic results in our city, but it's even worse in secondary stage. So this is important to find that the innovative teachers are not in secondary, they are in primary stage. So after this result, we can get our conclusions. All these results we have been explaining before illustrate the idea that methodological innovation in the city of Ceuta is not a reality yet in the daily teaching process. We also can conclude that the absence of the innovative teacher is more significant in secondary stage level, as we said before, with a higher index of school failure. And also it is important to say that 2 professional profiles of teachers have been identified half-time. So the innovative teacher is not a real normal in our city. So thank you so much for having shared this presentation and having, as I said before, having the possibility of sharing my work with you. It's been a pleasure for me. Thank you so much.